Hello artists, it's Mrs. Warfel, and this week we are going to make a piece of art based on Edvard Munch's The Scream. You can see it next to me here. We are going to use crayons to make this piece. You can use any material you want. If you'd like to paint it with paints or oil pastels, that would be great. And I'm just going to use crayons. I'll get you started and you can finish it on your own. I'm working on a half sheet of paper. Construction paper would be really nice. This one always turns out beautifully on blue or orange paper. And I chose this artwork because of its color and because it's fun to do. If we see the colors, the element of art color, take a look. What colors do we notice in this piece? We see these over here, these yellowy orange and reddish orange colors. And then what's on the opposite side of the color wheel? These blue colors. So blue and orange are opposites on the color wheel. We call that complementary colors. Complementary colors really do work as a beautiful color combination. You probably know certain holidays that are red and green, and you will very often see purple and yellow mixed together. These colors are complementary and they really resonate and bounce off of each other and are a good choice for making beautiful pieces of art. So let's get started. Here we go. Now I could draw this in color, in graphite or in pencil, and that would work out fine, but it might not be a bad thing to actually draw it in crayon because that's the material I'm using. So let's see what we've got here. I'm identifying different parts of the picture. I see that into the corner of the piece, the entire right side has, and I could use orange for this, has this orange banner. So let's go ahead and start in with that. But I'll use my gray right now. And working out from that lower right-hand corner, we see this kind of fence or wall that separates the walkway from the water area. And that part, let's see, that ends just above middle. So I'm mapping out my targets and connecting those targets. Just above middle. Keep your drawing light so that you can make adjustments. Remember, we'll be layering other parts like the figure in the foreground on top of this, so we don't want to see this line cut through. So keep it light. I'm drawing way darker than I want to so that I can see this. All right, so looking for the middle of the piece, that seems to be about where that water shape is. Let's kind of pencil that in. It goes a little past middle and sort of looks like, if you know the US map, I actually have lived in Michigan for a long time, so I see sort of that Michigan mitten shape. Let's bring that in. That's there, roughly placing that in. And then the figure is slightly to the right of middle. And I would say the head seems to be, the chin touches about at that fence line. And I'd say the shape, remember shape is an element of art, the shape is sort of like I'd say a light bulb. Maybe he's gotten some big ideas today. Let's rough in his hands holding his face and bring this down to here, kind of curving, holding on. And here we see around and to here, the hand overlapping that fence a little bit, and almost like a very curvy version of a hand, isn't it? There we go. Now, if you keep your strokes light and feathery, you can use the wrong marks to help you find the right marks. There's a little triangle shape for a neckline, and then the shoulders curve away and down and back up again to the arm to create the arm, and then this curving body form. And you can see kind of a curvilinear, he almost seems boneless, doesn't he? like he doesn't have any bones, like he's waving in the wind. This arm looks a little higher up and then curving up to the hand. So there's a rough in of where those points are. And then let's head back to notice where, if you notice this, the fence line, the fence looks bigger because it's closer. And farther away, we need to draw it smaller so that it looks farther away. So the size, this is linear perspective. The technique of showing depth in your pictures, one of the techniques. Let's make this center post here. So things that are close, objects are close. If, for example, let's find something on my, let's use an eraser. See how this takes up only a small amount of space on this whole frame? But if I take this exact same one, look, I can fill the picture. The closer it is, the larger it's taking up half of the screen now. Not in focus, but, right? See the difference? Same thing in real life. We see we need to create this illusion on our paper. What's actually happening in real life, we have to kind of fake it. All right, so this is receding into the distance and toward a place we call the vanishing point. All right, and let's get this beautiful kind of curving form for probably a mountain range in the background, I would say. And then it swirls. So look at all these swirling, curving figures. The figure in the front curves, all of the sky and the landscape swirls. And look at how rigid and straight and geometric those figures are. They really stand out because of that, even though they're far away. All right, so we've got some mapping started. We've got a nice swoop to the landscape and the sky, changing directions. It looks like maybe a storm, almost like a knot, like a tree knot there, right? So I'm mapping in gray. I chose gray because a lot of this picture is gray. If you mix blue and orange together on the color wheel, you actually neutralize. Because they're complementary colors, they make gray and brown. So that's why I've chosen gray today. All right, let's get this figure. He seems to have a head, hat, and his body. And he seems to end right about there. And then his partner, very tall as well and narrow. And you can see that my picture is not perfect. I do not need to worry about being perfect. You can see how close we can approximate the picture. Anybody who ever sees our version of this picture is going to know exactly what we're talking about. All right, and the eyes look like they're above the middle. That's unusual. He's looking up a little bit, so we'll bring in those eyes. This one a little closer to the side, and here, like that. Just 2 dots in the center for the nose, maybe a little higher than that. And then, oh my goodness, maybe he just had the best idea ever. I don't know. Maybe he saw something unusual. All right, and that is the basic mapping here. And then you will go in and start to color it in. Now, so here we have another one that I did. And you can see all the layers of colors, and you can see that it's slightly different, right? Slightly different. I'll include this version in the video so that you can compare. So go ahead and start layering all the colors that you see, and I can't wait to see your artwork if you share it with me. Great Hearts Online students will upload it to Artsonia. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you soon.